I'm
Nothing
sorry. Bueno, lo siento mucho por eso es mi internet. Así que si se ha desconectado ha sido culpa mía. Y si pasa otra vez también es culpa mía. Bueno, de internet.
Es culpa de
Sí.
internet.
Sí.
Yes.
Yeah. I was just apologizing for the
So,
internet.
okay, I'm going to just summarize everything. Max, no sé hasta dónde llegó. Max estaba hablando de del cartelito que tiene detrás, que es de la feria de su pueblo, bueno, de su ciudad, se llama ciudad. Es de su feria, es una en la que su padre fue el que hacía todo, el que organizaba todo, y bueno, es una fiesta como las fiestas del Burgo, con conciertos, atracciones y cosas así. La mítica que sale en las películas americanas de pueblo o en las series. So, we can continue right now, I think. Okay.
Yay. Okay, the next question we have is actually we're going to ask later. So, in the chat, please wait a little bit to know about that.
So, we can continue right now.
Yeah.
And now we are moving on into like education. So, we are going to talk first about high school, that Max has it more clear because he's
Max
younger.
And I, we're both the same age.
So you're both the same age, so you can compare the high school in the US and high school here in Spain. So you can talk about the age, the ages that you have in the high school, and we can start.
Here in Spain, we go from 12 to 18, and that is definitely different there.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh, Max? Yeah.
Max back? Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you okay? Okay.
Yeah. So our high schools, it's not really based on age. It's just based on when we get to grade school normally. So it's like after you get out of 8th grade, that's kind of like your end of grade school, and you go into being a freshman in high school. We don't really call them like 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. It's freshman, sophomore, junior, senior. That's just like I did it. Yeah, I remembered it. And I went to like a private Catholic school, so that's not exactly the majority of students, high school students in America. So,
you have 4 years of high school, and previous to that, you have another 4 years of middle school.
We have 8. Where we went to, I went to is like 8 years of grade school, not counting like preschool or like kindergarten or whatever. It's basically the same thing. But 8 years of grade school primarily, and then you'll move on to high school.
Wow, that's definitely different, because we start in first year of high school. What we call that is like between 11, 12 years old. And then you go up onto 4th grade, which is 16 years old. And then 15, you enter bachillerato, what is called bachillerato, very weird name. Oh, there's a cat there. And it's like, well, you don't have to do it if you don't want to. But if you want to enter college, you have to do that 2 years more.
It's like preparation.
Yeah.
For high school. For college.
Yeah. So, because public schools as well. Public schools as well in the United States are a little different than private Catholic, because I went to a private Catholic high school as well. But public schools are divvied up into K through 5th grade, which kindergarten is usually like you're 5 years old, 5 to 6 years old. And then when you get out of 5th grade, you're usually like 11. How old are you? Like 12 to 13? Or 11 to 12, and then 6th to 8th, and then after 8th grade you're like 14, and then because 6th to 8th is like a separate like school, like a school building for middle school. K through 5th is a separate school building, and it's probably a separate school, and then you go to high school. And in American high schools, for public schools, you can usually take like courses that accelerate like your credits.
Yeah.
So you can graduate earlier if you'd like to. You can also take courses that will give you college credits, AP courses. I don't know if you have that similar sort of thing in Spain.
No.
No.
So if you were to take like AP courses all 4 years throughout high school, you would go into college, the university level with like 1 year done. Maybe 2.
We don't have that here.
No.
So yeah, I'm going to translate it to the chat because that's really
Interesting.
important and interesting. Yeah. Entonces, la cosa de la educación en Estados Unidos está dividida en 4 bloques, en 3 bloques de 4, sin contar infantil. Tienen 4 años de primaria, otros 4 años de lo que sería una especie de primaria y secundaria, que le llaman middle school, y luego tienen unos últimos 4 años de high school, que sería el instituto. Y lo que decía ahora Jeff, que es muy, muy interesante, es que en el último año de instituto pueden elegir asignaturas de la universidad para tener el primer año de universidad prácticamente limpio y graduarse un año antes. Que eso es bastante interesante. Aquí lo tenemos. So yeah, that's really interesting actually, that you can take subjects from the university and you can graduate earlier and stuff. I think Jacob, one of our friends, did that.
Yeah, Jacob. I wasn't able to because of the way my private Catholic high school worked. I wasn't able to take AP courses, which sucked. But my little sister right now is taking AP courses every semester, and she's taking summer school with, I think, an AP course as well.
Oh, damn.
So she'll be able to get college credits and go into college with a lot less time to actually stay in college, which is good. Like for a lot of people, it works out really well. If you're able to do it, then you can knock out
you
a year.
Have summer school there?
Yeah, it's like you can do it. You take some online courses during the summer, and they'll usually be electives. Like in high school in America, for public high school, you can choose which classes to take. If you want to take honors courses and stuff like that, you can choose that as well, as long as you meet the requirements. Of course, a lot of things come down to in America, the standardized testing, and the standardized testing is the ACT and the SAT. And so if you're going to colleges on the East Coast, where New York and colleges big Ivy League colleges like Harvard and stuff like that are on the East Coast of the United States, you take the SAT because usually they only accept SAT scores. For any other colleges on the West Coast or in the Midwest, you take the ACT. And the ACT is scored from, I think, a 12 to a 36, which 36 is a perfect score. And then the SAT is something entirely different. I never took the SAT. I only took the ACT.
Yeah, that's another difference from here. We only have one test for
selectividad.
We have selectividad, yeah. And there is only one test, but it's different depending on the region you are.
Yeah.
So, but it counts the same for everything.
Yeah.
Entonces, la cosa que acabo de decir ahora, ellos tienen como 2 selectividades diferentes. Tienen una que cuenta más o la valoran mejor y entonces tienen que hacer una de ellas dependiendo de la universidad a la que quieran entrar. Decía, por ejemplo, que las universidades de la costa este, las más importantes y prestigiosas, requieren de un examen nada más y del otro pues les da un poco igual. So yeah, now they're asking on the chat and we wanted to talk about that. About the clubs in the high school,
first you missed one question. They're asking the cat's name.
Diego. It's Diego. The cat's name is Diego.
Oh, did they answer?
I thought it was a meme.
No, that's
nice.
Cat just rolled up.
David, look who asked the cat's name.
Yeah, you.
No. Wasn't me. Who was it? Someone else. Be me.
Oh my god, I don't know.
So they are asking if you have clubs in the high school.
Science clubs.
Science clubs, stuff like that, because we are a science club here. So do you have that in the high school?
Yeah, actually. We have a lot of clubs in high school, and they're not quite the same as sports teams, but you can have a lot of sports are through the school, just like in college. And since we have a lot of local high schools, especially where I am at, you'll have the crosstown rivalry, where it's our high school versus their high school. And it's also in clubs, which aren't necessarily the same, and they're not as well funded as sports teams, but you have chess clubs and stuff like that. Chess clubs, we have student council clubs, which is pretty universal as far as I'm concerned. Science clubs, yeah, everything.
Yeah.
We actually made a club in my high school, the gaming club.
Oh, the
mostly
gaming?
board games.
Oh my
Yeah.
What a gamer.
Yeah, I didn't make it. I was there the second year, and then I never showed up to a meeting.
Wow.
Sounds right.
Can relate.
Sounds good.
Who has time for that?
Yeah, you'll have a lot of clubs that can have like actual implications too. So like, for example, if you're in like theater, like you can join like theater programs in certain high schools, and if you do well, like you can get into good colleges for theater. If you're in like a debate club, blah blah blah, like it looks cool for colleges if like you're on the debate club, like stuff like that. Like some of those nuances have like actual real world implications. So like, for example, if you're like captain of a club of like dozens of people, colleges will look at that and be like, oh, that's pretty cool, yeah, like, and they might give you like a leadership grant or something like that if they accept you.
Nice.
And there's a lot of cool clubs. Like my little sister goes to public high school, and she was in like theater. She's in color guard, which color guard is like the flag stuff.
I got a band scholarship to Lindenwood actually, because I played all throughout high school. It's a big thing.
And I got a chess scholarship because I played chess. So it worked out like that. And certain high schools are actually doing esports. My little sister's high school is doing an esports club. They get the same thing. Riot Unlocked. They get the same thing we do.
That is really
Yeah.
nice. Like,
Yeah, that's really nice.
Here to have to go to university, they only look at your marks. Like you have a good mark, yeah, you're in, and that's it. If you
And that's it. They don't even look at if you did something.
A lot of times you get into colleges, you'll make a resume, basically a resume. Like if you're applying for a job, like I know I put in a lot of stuff, not just school ranks. I put in stuff like extracurriculars, like for one band, I put in stuff like with scouting, Boy Scouts. That looks really nice on it. It's basically like if you're applying for a job, but to go get a better education.
Yeah. Community service as well. If you put that on like an application, they love that. Things like that, like things that maybe don't really have like an actual impact into whether or not the education you get is like better or worse, but it looks better for the college if they have like someone that's cool.
Are you there?
Like they'll give you more money.
Okay, well,
yeah,
because they're already accepting you at that point through the marks, so it's similar. Like they accept you through marks, but if you have other things on your resume, for example, like that, like you were a captain of a certain club, they'll give you leadership grants, or they'll give you grants that are like, okay, you can come here for cheaper because of that thing. So it's still marks, but it's also that and more, I would say.
Not educational, particularly.
Yeah.
Bueno, pues esto es muy diferente a lo que tenemos aquí en España. Allí tienen clubes de actividades extraescolares como aquí tenemos, pero el participar en esos clubes o ser el presidente de ese club puede ayudarte luego de acabar el instituto a tener becas para la universidad, o que alguna universidad te quiera y te pague parte de la universidad, porque como sabemos es bastante cara allí. Pues el haber participado en este tipo de cosas puede ayudar bastante y es bastante interesante. Aquí que solo dependemos de la nota, básicamente. Ellos dicen que no depende solo de una nota, sino que al final haces un currículum de todo lo que has hecho en el high school y entonces pues luego lo presentas y te pueden escoger o te dan becas.
Sí,
como
también.
Por ejemplo, Jeff hablaba de que él tiene una beca por jugar al ajedrez.
Comenta por el chat, sí, es como con los deportes, como lo ves en las series normalmente, pues también te dan buenas sillas.
Con los deportes es lo más común, pero aquí, pues, por haber participado en un club de ciencias, ser presidente de un club de ciencias, pues te puede permitir entrar a la universidad. So, yeah.
Another question.
Oh, well, yeah. Jeff already answered that.
Yeah, we can, and it's actually encouraged to study a foreign language. It has same implications for college. Like if you study a foreign language, that looks really cool. Also, in America, if you're bilingual, it's really, really, really helpful. Especially Spanish, because one of the biggest minorities in America are Latin people. So people that speak Spanish and everything like that.
I was actually required by my high school to take.
You're required.
foreign language.
Yeah, I took Latin for example. Like I took a dead language because that was the only thing actually offered.
Yeah.
At
We
my
have
college.
Latin and
Yeah,
Antique
here we are
We have
required to have like not only our language and the other language that we speak. We have to take English mandatory and another foreign language for 2 years. So
Which is
we took
French.
in our high school is normally French, but in other high schools you can take German and stuff.
I took Spanish, 2 years Spanish.
Yeah,
There's a lot of different high schools will offer different things. I still have yet to see a high school that offers Russian, which is really sad to me. But a lot of high schools will offer like German, French, Spanish, Mandarin. Mandarin's huge. My sister's actually taking Mandarin.
Wow.
And so like since Mandarin is like China's becoming like a global superpower, so Mandarin's really helpful. On the same level as like English or Spanish. Like so a lot of people will take that now too.
So before moving on to the next question, I have a question. I just thought about that. How big are high schools, like in number of students?
Depends. My
high school.
Yeah, talk about yours, maybe.
Yeah. Mine.
Yeah. Well,
sorry.
Yeah,
My graduating class was 10 people, for example. That's how tiny my class was. Yeah.
It's not tiny here.
And de graduados.
De graduados.
The entire class. The entire class. Yeah, the entire class. Like the entire year was 10 people. For public high schools, however, it's different. Like public high schools can be anywhere from hundreds to thousands of people that are graduating at the same time. And then if you're at like a private Catholic school like Max's, it's probably close to 100. Like probably, right, Max?
We have our total high school when I was there it's about 400 total, and then the public school that was also in town had about 1,500 people. So like we were able pretty differences both sides of the spectrum. I also had a friend who had a graduating class of 4, and he went to an even more country version. Also, so it's everywhere.
Yeah, here in our city, and normally like the graduating class is around 70, 75, something like that.
We were 60
Normally.
my year.
Yeah, my year was 75 graduating. So yeah, it's a huge difference.
Yeah.
Bueno, ya para luego ya por la universidad, las clases son muy variadas. O sea, ellos dos estudiaron en institutos privados. Entonces en la clase de Jeff se graduaron 10 nada más, porque eran solo 10 en clase. Además eran 400 en todo el instituto, ya eran un poquito más grandes, como el David Wuhan, los que fuimos, no a yo. Pero por ejemplo tenemos otro amigo que estudia en la pública y creo que eran 14.000 estudiantes en todo el instituto. Y por lo que me dijo, no llegó a conocer a todos los de su curso que se graduaron. Para que os imaginéis las diferencias que hay. So yeah, we can move on now and talk about the universities.
Yeah.
So Jeff, you are the most experienced one here in the university.
I suppose so.
So yeah, we are going to talk about the universities. So we already talked about the exams to get into the university and all the things that you can do to get into the university. Here we only have one exam and we depend only on that score, and that's it. There was a question in the chat, and it's normal that students live in the campus even though they live in the same city as the university they are going.
It can be, yeah. So it really depends on like. It depends on how much money you have, really. Like it honestly does. So like, and it depends on what you want, like as a human being. So a lot of people have lived with their parents for 18 years in America, and they're done. Like they're done, and they want a little bit of independence, right? And so people go to live on that campus, even if it's 15 minutes away. Like in my example, like I'm literally like 25 minutes away from my house, but I live on campus. And it's. A lot of people are like that. Some people, though, commute. And it comes down to a lot of things like scholarships. So certain schools will offer you more money if you stay on campus, like Lindenwood does. If you commute, they don't offer as much money. And you have to keep that in mind when you're applying for colleges and stuff like that. A lot of people really like the independence given. I mean, the idea of like literally going off and living like somewhat on your own, like you have a roommate and you still have like contact with your parents. You don't really have to worry about money because you're provided by the college, you know, like you get meals and stuff like that. So you don't necessarily have to worry about too many things. But being your own independent person is really, really nice. You know, being able to go out and not have to worry about a curfew or anything like that, like it's a nice time. For a lot of people, it's different too. You know, like for my example, I have a really good family, so like it wasn't an issue me going to live on campus. For some people, like they're kept at home. Some people aren't. And I would assume it's the same thing in Spain. Like everything's different and variables are different.
Yeah. Normally, if you live in the same city as the university you're going, you live in your house.
Yeah.
You don't go.
Yeah.
You don't move into a dorm or something like that. You just live in your house.
Yeah.
But it's really common to move to a close city and just study there. Like we have a city like 30 minutes away from here, and normally everybody moves there once they graduate from high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't have
Yeah.
like the independency that you want, like if you live in the same city as the university you're going to, like me, I still live at home and I go to college or university, and it's like you don't leave the university life from shows, movies, and different. You're just like going to high school.
Yeah, for certain. And the thing is too in America is that geography is huge, right? So like Missouri is just about as big as Spain, for example, right? Missouri is just about as big as Germany. So like if you're going to a college all the way down in like California, then like you are literally a continent away at that point. And like that's a huge, like that's, you're not in contact with your parents pretty much, like unless you're like writing to them or texting them, whatever. And that's huge independence, you know what I mean? And the same can be said kind of because cities in America are really, really, really big. For certain people, like for example, like if you're living in the tri-state area on the East Coast, where you know New York and New Jersey meet, like if you're on the New Jersey side and you go to NYU, you're like an hour away probably, even though it's not really that far of a distance, just because of traffic.
Yeah. Well, just to tell the people in the chat, St. Louis, that is where we are going to the university, is as big as Madrid. That is one of our biggest cities. So yeah.
It doesn't have as many people, but it's definitely like as big.
I think what's the population of St. Louis? Like around 2 million, something like that?
Yeah, it's not too much.
It's like Madrid. It's 2 million.
Too many.
Yeah.
For us.
Here is too many, and in America it's like,
you see.
How many people do we have in Coruña?
We have 200,000.
Yeah, and that's enough.
With Coruña and all the surroundings. So,
Enough.
Yeah, enough.
Not many people. It's a small city.
So yeah, I'm going to translate a bit and then we can move on. Allí la universidad, aunque vayas en la misma ciudad, normalmente te mudas a la universidad. De hecho, en nuestra universidad el primer año es obligatorio pasarlo en la universidad. Entonces, mucha gente que está bastante cansada de su familia, pues se mueve a la universidad y vive allí porque están más cómodos y es una manera de empezar a independizarse y vivir un poco tu vida. Como hacemos aquí en Santiago. O sea, Jeff vive de su casa a la universidad, vive como nosotros de aquí a Santiago al final. Y podría ser un caso perfecto de no ir a la universidad y vivir en la universidad. Bueno, sí vive. Porque el no vivir allí te puede privar de tener becas. Entonces a la gente no le compensa al final y prefieren vivir allí. So, yeah. Universities are like quite similar in some aspects. Like people want to move like outside home and just live in the university, live the university life, party and stuff, something.
Yeah, good
Hell yeah.
So yeah, that's not a huge difference. Maybe the difference can be like in how the courses are made, but that's going too deep right now.
Yeah, I would say probably like money too. Like a lot of people are gate kept by money in America. So
yeah, for example, I don't know how much is a year at Lindenwood without scholarships. I think it's around 24K.
Yeah, 24,000.
Oh,
Yeah, something like that. And here is a year for a normal person is 800 euros.
mine is 600.
Yeah,
Because I have three. We have three brothers.
but
Three
without
siblings.
the dormitory.
Yeah,
Oh my
Only
god.
with the
The
dormitory
subjects.
might be just 1,000.
And you have free healthcare, bruh. Take me to Spain.
Yeah, that's
Very nice.
Oh man.
Well, at least our university, because it's pretty cheap, like here in Coruña, but other places
that's
are.
the public
Yeah.
universities. We have private universities that are like 24K per
Yeah.
year.
Yeah. Well, I guess it's kind of like that in America too. Like community colleges can still be kind of expensive, but the thing is that community colleges are only 2 years. They don't really give
Oh.
you a degree.
Oh.
They usually give you an associate's, but they allow for people with like not as much money to go to community college for cheaper, and then as long as they keep their marks up, exactly, and as long as they keep their marks up, they're able to transfer out and get like good scholarships.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
It's quite
A lot of
interesting.
people do it. A lot of people do it now because I mean, people don't want to leave. A lot of people don't really want to leave home as soon as they're 18, which makes sense because a lot of like, I mean, not to get weirdly political or anything, but a lot of the economic situation in America right now kind of sucks for a lot of people. So some people don't want to leave home, which makes sense. Like they don't want to leave home, and their parents don't want them to leave home either. So you have a lot of people going to community college for 2 years and then transferring out and going to a local college where they get a 4-year degree and then looking for something locally. That's what a lot of people in America do now, if they don't have the money.
Yeah, I see. So yeah, we can move on. We have 15 minutes left and we have 2 questions. So
Yeah. So we're going to move. Yeah, we're going to leave education apart, and that is actually a personal question that I'm interested in. Stereotypes. Which stereotypes do you have about Spain? I'm curious. Tell us.
You guys take a lot of naps.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom is obsessed with going to Spain, right? Because all she thinks of is that you guys take siestas, and she would love to take siestas every day. And that's pretty much the stereotype that I know of. We know the Europeans really like soccer. Sorry, football.
You can say
And
that's more American.
And other than that, like we don't really have bad stereotypes about Spanish people, unless you're like really ignorant and you think Mexicans and Spanish are the same people, and you like
that happened to me.
Exactly.
Ooh,
Yeah, you get like
One
you
guy
get a
asked
lot.
me where I was from, and I was like, I'm from Spain. He said, "Oh yeah, right next to Mexico." And I was like, "Oh my god!"
Yikes! Yeah,
Near.
so you have a lot of really ignorant and kind of racist people in America, so you get those types of stereotypes sometimes. But we have bad stereotypes about like French people, which I'm sure we could all agree on. You know?
Yeah.
See? It's just that easy.
Oh my god. Yeah, I think it's like Canadian French people.
Yeah.
We all know that. Max, they are asking here how is life in the countryside, like in a farm, something like that. Like,
well, I don't exactly live on a farm. My neighbor has cows, and we have chickens. We're not on a farm. I don't grow crops, but we have big animals, stuff like that. Like he doesn't have cattle right now because he's not really a big farmer. We live across from a field. My family owns a farm. Like I helped bale hay last weekend. You know, like they get on a tractor, they drive around, and they cut it down, they bale it up, and then we toss it in the barn. Very country, very hick. It's a lot of fun, actually. Living out here, it's not bad at all, especially right now, not a lot of COVID. A small town feel is good because everybody knows your name. Everybody knows my dad, so which means they know me. So like you just start to see familiar faces more often, and it's kind of feels more personal when you go into like a small business and you know the owner.
They're asking about the story of the deer you have behind. Is it a deer, right?
Oh, that's a deer. It's a white-tailed deer. I shot that deer when I was 14. It was the first deer. Its name is Sam.
Very country, as you can tell.
Very.
Very American, actually.
Very American.
Yeah, very. I have my own rifle that I shot it with, which is very American.
Very American. Yeah.
Oh god.
If anyone was wondering, it's a 30-06 bullet, 30-06 rifle shot.
There you go. There you go.
6.
30-06.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, just to finish the questions, would you like to visit Spain?
Hell yeah, bro.
Yes.
That sounds dope. What? Yeah.
Wow, that was quite quick, actually.
Dude, like,
it's because I'm here. I can leave if you want, and you can.
yeah. Well, honestly, like, you guys sound like you party a ton. So, like, hello? Yeah, that sounds great. Like,
It depends on the person, but yeah.
you guys party until like 7 a.m. Like, what?
COVID.
Yeah, no party
No,
right
we
now.
don't
No
have
party
start
right now.
having parties.
Slow your roll.
I would also just like to go to Europe, honestly. Like,
Mhm.
I'm a history major. I love the history of Europe, the good and the bad parts. And, you know, like, Europe is such like a diverse, culturally diverse like continent that I would love to just visit it, just to look at the history. I'd love to go to Catalonia, and I know that maybe that's not a good opinion, but I really liked the Spanish Civil War. I liked what Catalonia stood for. So, like, I would love to visit that sometime.
We
you
have
know.
our own history here for.
I know, yeah, Mr. Franco over there. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, yeah. And you, Max?
Mhm.
You want to
Me?
come to Spain?
I wanna come to Spain,
because
yeah,
this guy
of
is like a bit nerd about history and stuff. So
Yeah,
maybe you have friends.
he's a history nerd, but I like because I just like to travel and see things. Because like living out in the country is great because it's small, but also it's really boring. Really boring. There's nothing to do sometimes. So I'm a big travel person. I really like traveling. I've been all around the United States, stuff like that. And I've been a few times out of the country. I've been to Jamaica and Mexico, kind of stuff going more south. But I've never been to Europe, and that sounds fun. And my brother went to Spain one time, and it's really pretty there. A lot of really good pictures of Madrid, so I want to see that.
Easy.
It is.
And they're asking here if you have a lot of tornadoes and shelters for those.
Everyone has a basement.
Technically, we do live in Tornado Alley of America.
Yeah,
However,
everyone-
I've never seen a tornado in my life. My mother has, but I have not.
we get them sometimes, but I live in a city, and so like the way tornadoes work is they usually can't go up hills, like, ever. That's why, like, Oklahoma and Kansas are racked with tornadoes. So, like, if it's hilly, like, tornadoes can't do anything. And, like, as long as you live near hills, you're fine. But everyone in Tornado Valley, like Oklahoma, Kansas, Missouri, northern Texas, everyone has, like, a basement. So I'm in a basement right now. I don't know if you guys, like...
Who could tell? Who knows?
Yeah. Because, like, in other places in America, they just don't build basements because you don't have to worry about tornadoes.
Mhm.
They just build up instead of down.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's really weird for
Oh,
us.
yeah, and
Yeah.
earlier, someone asked if you can say like one or two words in Spanish, if you know, just before
Sí.
this end. I mean, Max had some years of Spanish in high school. Jeff, you were my roommate.
It was Mexican Spanish as well, but I don't know how similar it is. I know
Not at all, but
exactly. So
it is Spanish.
Yo tengo telephone.
no.
Is that it? That close?
Teléfono.
Telefona. There you go. I have telephone. There you go.
Nice.
And you
I know
managed-
French personally. I know a little bit of French.
Yeah, we
so,
don't want French here right now.
Oh, oh.
And you, Max, can you say something? in
I
Spanish?
am Yo soy Max. And then I remember I can't say refrigerator. That one's really hard. And I remember cucaracha, and huevos was eggs.
Wow. Okay. Jeff, you have to study.
What's the ¿Cómo está? There you go. There.
Oh yes.
There.
Yeah,
Bam,
and
bam.
you know one more. The one I always say when I come into the dorm.
Buenas.
Hey, let's
Buenas.
go.
Well, it's like ciao. Ciao.
Ciao.
You know
Ciao.
that.
Yeah, he
You
knows
know
ciao.
that's Italian,
Mhm.
but
It's close enough.
We also use it.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I think it's at the end.
That's the end. I think it's the first day that we finish on time.
Yeah.
Well,
like
thank you
for a
for
couple of
having me.
weeks.
Yeah,
Thank you
they're
for
saying
coming.
here in the chat like really good
I'm so
having you
happy.
today. So yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you for coming.
Of
If you want
course.
to come another day, you are more than welcome.
Sure, yeah, hit me up.
We can discuss other things.
Yeah.
Hey, if you want, I can always have my sisters because I know
Yeah.
that they're high
Yeah,
school.
they were saying in the chat that she can
Yeah,
join.
I saw that.
Maybe
Yeah,
another time. She's in,
Mhm.
she's in high, they're both in high school, right?
yeah,
We can
yeah.
talk about the
Both
high
high
school
school.
life
Mhm.
and how is everything with COVID and high school right now.
Yeah, that's true. That's a big issue for them too. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's it.
Yes.
And
All right. Well, thank you very much.
no, hacemos lo de la claqueta.
Glad to help you, Dave. Bye,
Hacemos lo de
everyone.
la claqueta.
¿Quieres hacer la claqueta?
Yeah,
Okay.
so every time to finish our program, well, normally we have another presenter, so we are new in this stuff. We do like
Yeah.
in the cinema that they do like this and they cut the.
I don't know how they call
Yeah,
the
like
thingy.
I don't know how it's called that thing.
Oh, yeah, that
Yeah.
thing. Like, it was like bam, like
Yeah,
scene cut.
how
I don't know what
it's
it's called. I don't know what it's called, but it's
Yeah.
a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, so we will do that. Like
Mhm.
we count to 3, 2, 1, and we do that. And no, I just cut the stream. Okay. So 3, 2, 1.
Wait,
Oh my god.
didn't go well.
Did it happen? Did it happen?